P.O.S. That means people of substance, right? I'm kidding. I'm excited to check this one out, you guys. There's an artist from Canada. Where are all my Canadian friends at? Noah Bridgen. An artist, a country folk artist from Canada, Ontario, Canada, if I'm not mistaken, who has a song out called P.O.S. I'm assuming this is referring to a piece of, but we're going to find out. I'm very excited to check this one out with you. And before we dive in, go open up a new tab. Go check out Noah Bridgen. I'm going to link the video and his YouTube channel in the description. Please subscribe to Noah Bridgen, up-and-coming artist with his new song, P.O.S., that already has over almost 500,000 views. So I can't wait to check this one out with you. I have no idea what this one's about, but we're going to subscribe to him and we're going to check this one out together. What do you think the song is about? Comment. Let me know in the comments. P.O.S. Does it mean what we think it means? Is it something else? Let's find out. Sorry, I'll start over. Did you hear that? I like it. Oh.
Tough question, why you talking to me?
Huh.
Just look the other way, I ain't got much to say. Lost my best friend years ago, and now she's dead.
Oh.
So I spent my last bit of cash on cigarettes.
The grief in his voice, that subtle yodel and the little bit of that grit.
Spent my last bit of cash on cigarettes.
Oh, I like that. Those background notes.
Well, if I'm a piece of shit, then I guess I got a reason for it. And if I'm as good as gone, I guess I'll move along. Bad habits, getting damn sick of it. Losing grip and I never learn when to quit. If I'm a piece of shit, I got a reason for it.
This is hard to watch. I want to like save him, like bust in there and just protect the kid. How can you just beat on someone tied up like that? There's duality in that too, by the way, to call this, to have this song titled A Piece of Shit and him asking that about himself. And yet someone else is beating up on him. So who's really the POS up in here? Sorry, the big sis comes out sometimes. Sometimes the therapist has to leave the room and big sister takes off her earrings, you know? That's a catchy hook. Okay.
I talked to God about all the bad I'd done. And he said, son, you gotta learn to be someone. So I packed the car, skipped town with a damn guitar. 'Cause you never fucking cared, I never needed you there. Well, if I'm a piece of shit, then I guess I got a reason for it. And if I'm as good as gone, I guess I'll move along. Bad habits, getting damn sick of it. Losing grip and I never learn when to quit. If I'm a piece of shit, I got a reason for it.
Those catchy melodies in this thing. Ooh, we're going back for that. Ready. I wasn't ready for that guitar solo. Hold up. I did not expect that. I should have known, though. I did not expect that. That is powerful. That's poignant. He was the one beating himself up. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that's powerful. Okay. Subscribe to Noah Bridgen. Guys, make sure we can, this is what we're about in this place. I was just recently talking to you about the frustrations with these big music labels that are coming after YouTube channels, claiming content of videos that is, not even playing the music or showing the video, just me talking. The system's corrupt, the music labels, some more than others, trying to, the rich getting richer, the industry corrupt, but we could do something about it. And that is supporting independent artists, supporting up-and-coming artists, exploring music that doesn't get the major radio plays. You feel me? This is what this channel is about, to uplift, to bring you quality music, have conversations of substance, be people of substance. What did you think about Noah Bridgen and P.O.S? Piece of shit. Talk to me about this. Okay, we're going to dive into this one because these lyrics are profound. The first thing that I appreciate the cinematography, music video-wise. It's very stripped down and raw and fitting to that country folk feel, and also very fitting to that feeling of despair and depression and complete emptiness, hopelessness, okay? And the fact that it was all just taking place in this rundown barn-looking room right next to a water heater, I'm assuming, right? Really a very depressing kind of setting. Very fitting, well done cinematography. Opens his mouth and homeboy is bringing us some grit, subtle growls, that yodel. Very fitting to that country feel. Very fitting. The breathiness at times. Music composition, very catchy hooks. As you noticed on my face, the guitar solo was beautiful in the end. Certain melodic hooks that he kept bringing in that made it very catchy to sing along, especially when the background vocals did the oohs and ahs and that ad-libbing. It added a level of airiness, which is fitting to the smoke in the background and this feeling of lingering, almost a feeling of not mysterious. That sounds a little too romanticized. That feeling of, I guess, lingering threat, question marks in the air, right? Who is the P.O.S? What's going on here? That oohs and ahs created an element of eeriness, added to the feeling of eeriness, but also the melody was catchy enough for us to sing along, for us, the melody to get stuck in our head, which is well done when it comes to a songwriting perspective. The whole composition pulled you in. You want to listen. You want to see where this is going. The lyrics, painfully honest, and I think relatable to more people than we realize. Tough questions. Why you talking to me? Now, this is interesting because this scenario almost looks like someone has been kidnapped or is possibly being held against their will. His hands are tied behind his back. This would be one of those situations where someone's being tortured or interrogated, being asked questions, tough questions. I also appreciate the song starts with that because all the questions he's getting ready to ask are indeed tough. And the questions we often ask ourselves in life when it comes to figuring out who we are, what's the meaning of life, are indeed tough questions. Why you talking to me? And who is asking who? In the end, of course, it reveals that he was hurting himself, asking himself questions, perhaps interrogating himself. But this question of why you talking to me is poignant because it speaks to attention in relationships. This could be I myself asking myself tough questions. If you don't love yourself, that's how you would talk to yourself, right? Why are you talking to me? Why are you engaging with me? What do you want from me, right? But even in relationships with others, when someone were to say that to you, what do you want from me? Or you ask them, why are you talking to me? There's a clear relational disconnect. Clearly, this is not a healthy, wholesome, good relationship because you either don't want the person to talk to you or you don't understand why they're talking to you to begin with. Maybe you feel like you're a POS and that's why they shouldn't be talking to you. All right, the questions are endless. Just look the other way. I ain't got much to see. This too, very well written, but a brilliant lyric. Instead of saying, I'm not much to see, I'm not much to look at, look away, don't look at me, it's saying, I ain't got much to see. Not only do I want you to look away, not only do I not understand why you want to talk to me, because I think I'm such a POS, I ain't got much to see. There's no hope for me. There's not much for me to see, to look at, and I'm not much to look at. I lost my best friend years ago. Now she's dead. Now we're talking about the deep pain and trauma. This is a person who is hurting. Deeply hurting, lost his best friend. Now she's dead. Does this mean literally dead? Does this mean this was a relational breakup of sorts or end of a relationship, which feels like death to some people? But let's assume he means literal. She's dead. So I spent my last bit of cash on cigarettes. Okay. It's painting this picture that is very much one of despair. If I'm a P.O.S., then I guess I got a reason for it. Right? We're going from saying, you know what, this is who I am. Maybe there's a reason that I'm like this. I got a reason for it. I have an excuse. Is this our way of saying there's an excuse for who I am? Or is this our way of saying I'm hurting, and if I am a POS, I got a reason for it. I'm not just a piece of crap for no reason. If I'm as good as gone, I guess I'll move along. If I'm as good as gone, I guess there's no point in me staying. I'll move along. Bad habits, getting dang sick of it. Losing grip, and I never learn when to quit. If I'm a POS, I got a reason for it. Losing grip, I never learn when to quit. When to quit with the smoking and the drinking, when to quit in a bad fight, when to quit when it comes to holding on to things that are harmful to us. I talked to God about all the bad I'd done, and he said, son, you got to learn to be someone. I packed the car, escaped town with a dang guitar because you never effing cared. I never needed you there. Who is he talking to? All this time before the very end, I would have thought maybe this is him talking to parents, friends, people in his life, and he's letting them know, you may think that I'm a POS. Look the other way, leave me alone. Why are you even talking to me? If I'm a POS, if you think that's what I am, I got a reason for it. I lost my friends. God told me I got to make something of myself. I got to be someone. I talked to God about all the bad I'd done. I've made bad choices, so I'm leaving the car. You never cared about me. I never needed you there. If I'm a POS, I got a reason for it. And then that repeats, and that keeps tagging. If I'm a piece of shit, I got a reason for it. And he says that again and again and again. I think this is poignant to tag that, because I think when it comes to the overarching theme of this song of trying to figure out who we are, our identity, sense of self, and trying to find the purpose in life. That's, to me, the overarching theme. And to repeat that phrase, if I'm a POS, I got a reason for it, can be taken different ways. On one hand, I think it speaks of excuses. I got a reason for it. This is who I am. And a lot of people look at life that way. That's what they form their identity around that type of philosophy. This is just who I am. I got a reason. It could be looked at as someone crying out for help and trying to explain themselves, trying to say, if this is what I am. He says, he doesn't state it, by the way, as a statement, I am. He doesn't say I am for sure, certainly, it's been proven beyond a reasonable doubt, I am. He says, if I am. And to use that word if still implies that it may not be the case. It leaves us the option. If means it could go either way. If I am a POS, based on who? Based on your opinion, my opinion, but if that's what I am, I got a reason for it. And that could also be taken as a person's desire to try to explain that there is a reason for the things that I do. I didn't just become who I am for no reason. What we go through, the people we lose, the decisions we make, things that are done to us affect who we become. And there's a reason for it. There's a reason for why we are the way that we are. Should it be used as an excuse to hurt people, to tie them up, to be unkind, to do whatever the heck we want? I would argue no. But as we saw in the very end, the person that was tying him up, the person that also had the power to release him and undo the rope in the end, was himself. He was the one who had bound himself. He was the one who untied himself. And he's the one who was interrogating, asking questions, and abusing himself. And I think this can be a fantastic conversation starter about identity. Who are we? How do the things that happen to us and the things we do form us and our sense of self? How much of our life should be our identity, and how much of it just is? It happened. It is. It's the past, and that doesn't mean that that's who I am. Where do we draw the line between saying the things that I do are part of me, and where do we say, no, just because I've done that doesn't mean that that's who I am? There's more to me than that. I think this song can be a conversation starter about identity. It is a conversation to me about purpose. In all of that, in that whole question of if this is who I am, in that whole search for am I or am I not, if a piece of crap. In all of that, I also see a longing to find some kind of purpose, because he talks to God about all the bad he's done, and he gets that response, son, you got to learn to be someone. I think there's a theme here, a conversation also about the pain we've endured and how it forms us, our identity, but also what do we do with that pain now? How can you be someone? How can you learn to be someone? What does it mean to be someone? We have a choice. I got a reason for it. I think this song is also a conversation about not only self-harm, but also the way that we often harm ourselves, not necessarily just physically, but mentally, how we often are our own worst enemy, and how often people will treat other people and live a life and make choices based on how they view themselves. That saying, hurt people hurt people. I think that a lot of people, if they're not willing to ask the tough questions, if they're not willing to face themselves, if they're not willing to sit with themselves, to love themselves, they're going to keep also treating other people in a certain way. And then other people will start thinking that they are a POS. And now that reinforces that message. If you think that I'm one, maybe I really am one. When how often do we slow down long enough to decide that we have to first just make our mind up about ourselves before anyone gets to have a say, no matter what their opinion is, about who we are or are not? What is my view on myself? What's my perspective? Am I a POS, a piece of shit, or am I a POS, a person of substance? Who am I going to be? What am I going to be? And I get to decide that, not you. You can still continue believing what you want to believe about me. But when I start believing what I believe is true about myself, it will affect how I treat you, how I appear to you. But even if you continue to uphold your perspective and perception on me, I am still in charge of who I want to be. And so I really appreciate, as sad as this lyrics are and the whole composition feels, it's opening a conversation. I think it allows us to open the conversation about that dilemma, about the need to ask ourselves, what am I doing to myself? What are we doing to each other? But also, what am I doing to myself? And I think that's where it begins. A lot of people, where others might say, that's just a POS. This person, that person, they're just POSs. These are human beings. This is someone's sons and daughter, and maybe they've done horrendous things with their lives. But a lot of time, the way that people behave, it comes from a lack of love for oneself, respect for oneself. And I'm not talking about, I'm so amazing at everything, I can do no harm, I can do no wrong. I'm not talking about some type of superficial self-love. I'm talking about genuine loving yourself as the human being that is worthy of love and care. And the fact that it was him in the end just shows so much that a lot of the way that people live life and choose to present themselves to others, and a lot of what's going on behind the kind of people that we would think are just POSs, they're often even harder on themselves. Long before other people labeled them, him or her, as a piece of crap, they probably thought that about themselves. And that's part of the dilemma, is that they're already doing that to themselves. They're punishing themselves. They're beating up on themselves. They don't love themselves. They haven't dealt with those wounds of losing friends and people dying and hurting. They haven't sat with God wondering, what does it mean to make something of yourself? They're hurting. And so they act on that. Long before they hurt someone else, they've been hurting themselves. So I think this is a brilliant song that can open the conversation about what true self-love and self-respect actually looks like, and what makes a person a POS or whatnot. It's really raw and real. Go check out Bridgen on YouTube. Go check out his link tree. I'm going to put the information in the links in the description below. He has an EP coming out, Mind Like Mine, coming out on July 31st. So you can pre-save that. You can check out the videos and the music he has out. Go follow him on TikTok, Instagram, listen to him on SoundCloud, check him out on Snapchat. The options are endless. Linktree. I'm going to put it all in the description below. Make sure to subscribe here too for more music from around the world. Thank you for exploring more artists with me, music from all eras, genres, nations. I'm really honored that you're here. I will see you guys on the next ride. Now go have fun listening to Noah Bridgen. Ayo!